Graveyard Talkers, and welcome to another episode of Graveyard Talk. And I'm your host, Randy. We're still in sunny Florida. Today it's sunny, getting a little warmer. They won't have warm weather down here for about another week, but Hope and I are enjoying our last full day in Florida. Tomorrow we head back to the cold in Michigan, trying to get in as many videos down here as I can, so that I can spread them out to hopefully somewhere around the springtime. I got some ideas on what to do with some of my older ones. Maybe re-go through them and re-listen to them. Maybe they got something else to say now that I didn't hear. So today, I actually came back to this cemetery because in this cemetery is a very young boy, 4 years old, Wayne Dolham, Dolham. And Wayne lived, let me see if I can get this a little bit adjusted there. There we go. Wayne lived from 1948, I think it was, to 1952. He was 4 years old. And I'm going to put some stuff up here about him, maybe a little voiceover. But he lived a horrible death. Indeed, he did. And as soon as you hear his story, we'll begin the session.
The tragic death of Wayne Dolham, a 1952 case of child abuse and justice. In the spring of 1952, one of the most horrifying child abuse cases in American history unfolded in a quiet suburban neighborhood. 4-year-old Wayne Dolham lost his life in what newspapers described as a chamber of horrors inside the home of his mother, Alice Cliff, and his stepfather, John Cliff. Wayne had been living with the Cliff couple, enduring increasing abuse over time. The violence reached a tragic peak in late April. Reports from the Tampa Tribune and other newspapers detailed a brutal 3-day ordeal that ended with Wayne's death on April 30, 1952. Investigators revealed that Wayne had been severely beaten and ultimately hung by the neck from a bathroom rafter. His suffering was systematic and prolonged. At just 4 years old, he stood no chance against the cruelty inflicted by the very people meant to protect him. Neighbors and relatives later reported seeing signs of abuse but never imagined the full extent of what Wayne endured. His death triggered national outrage and cast a harsh spotlight on child abuse hidden behind closed doors. An autopsy revealed extensive injuries. Wayne had died from hanging and trauma due to repeated beatings. The details shocked both law enforcement and the public, stirring emotional reactions and demands for justice. After a rapid investigation, both Alice and John Cliff were indicted for first-degree murder. Their trial drew widespread media coverage due to the graphic details and the emotional weight of the case. Prosecutors portrayed John Cliff as the primary abuser, with Alice complicit through neglect and participation. Both were found guilty. In July 1952, the court sentenced them to life in prison. Though the death penalty was considered, life sentences were seen as a firm and lasting judgment. Legacy and impact. Wayne Dolham was laid to rest in a modest funeral attended by mourners. Though strangers to him were moved by his tragic story, the sermon emphasized the sacredness of a child's life. In the wake of the case, public discussion around child protection deepened. While not the sole spark for reform, Wayne's death became one of several high-profile cases that pushed for stronger child welfare laws and mandatory reporting of abuse. Today, Wayne Dolham is remembered as a symbol of the silent suffering endured by countless children. His story serves as a painful reminder of the importance of vigilance, compassion, and the need to protect the most vulnerable.
So I'm back here specifically at this cemetery to see if little 4-year-old Wayne Dolham will want to talk to me. Now, this cemetery is around the 1850s. It's a very small cemetery. You can see over this way where if you can see where the traffic is going by, like back in here, that's I think the south side. And over here, yeah, you might be able to see some trees. That's the north side. And it's probably about 2 or 3 city blocks long. That's it. And behind this hedge is a bigger cemetery. That cemetery now takes care of this cemetery. And it's obvious when you look at both cemeteries that they do this one for free, and that's the kind of care it gets. It gets free care because not very well taken care of, in my opinion. You know, that one you can look over the fence, you can definitely see it's taken care of. This one here is taken care of with the minimal of care, but at least someone is taking care of it. So Wayne Doham. So what we know about Wayne Doham is that he basically died at the hands of his mother and his stepfather. Alice was his mother's name. She got out like 4 years later, 5 years later, 1959, I believe it was. No record. I can find no record of her, but of her former husband. Can't find anything hardcore proof that he got out. The prison records don't show a release date. Shows her release date, but not his release date. But there was someone with his exact name who died in 2012 at 87 years of age, and that would be right about the age he was, and died right here in this area. So I'm assuming he got out. Don't know what happened to his Alice's wife, but according to the obit I read, he married some other woman. So I assume that they didn't get married, or maybe they did and she passed away. I don't know. I walked this cemetery this morning. This is where I got the feeling he was. Um, I can't find a headstone from him. I'm looking at Topa. You can just barely see Topa's head right there, right there, right in her ear. I can't find any reference other than that he's buried here, and the articles and stuff that I put up for you to see. So with that, Wayne Doham, little Wayne Doham, 4 years old. Out to all the spirits here, I was here the other day. And I know some of you wanted to talk, some of you didn't want to talk. What I'll ask you today is that you would refrain from interjecting until after I have talked to Wayne. If I could ask you that. Wayne Doham, 4 years old, born 1948-ish, died 1952. Wayne, my name is Randy. Are you here, buddy? So I heard mistakes and I heard terrible. He was being punished for the mistakes that he made, or his behavior. And then I heard terrible. So Wayne, we know what happened to you. Can you tell me? Do you know what happened to you? Can you tell me what happened to you? All right, Wayne. Well, most of the people who are watching here, a lot of the people who are watching here have kids or brothers and sisters. And when I read your story, I was really upset and shocked by it, as I'm sure a lot of people are that are going to be watching this video. Can you tell us, Wayne, what did they do to you? Right off the bat, hurt me. We know they hurt you. They were mean to you. Can you tell me what you remember of that day? What happened? Okay, so we know that we know they did something in particular to you, Wayne. Can you tell us what they did? We know where it was at. Can you tell us where it was? What room were you in, Wayne? What room were you in? So, Wayne, what we try to do here is we try to get it so that when we're talking to the spirits like you, that we can get an idea of you telling us the story instead of me saying the story. So we know that your mother and your stepfather were mean to you. We know it was terrible and we know it hurt because you just told us so. Where where in the house were you? So we'll have to hear whether I heard in there just pick me up. So can you tell us a little bit more by what you meant by just pick me up? I heard the word tie in there. Still trying to get where in the house were you, Wayne? Now, he may have already said it. I may be just repeating it. He may have already said it, but as you know, I don't hear everything. Wayne, when they were being mean to you, where were you? Okay, he may not know. I heard home in there. I get home. Were you in your, I know where you were at, but let me see. Were you in your bedroom, Wayne?
Yeah. It again. Yeah. Well, these
Heard the word basement, but that doesn't go along with the story that I read. I get really two accounts of the stories, two different articles that I read. I won't know what happens when I get home, get on the big computer, and see what I can find out. I don't think you were in the basement. I heard basement in there, Wayne. I don't think you were in the basement, were you?
I know. I would just
Well, there's a particular room that I'm looking for. I'm not hearing it, and I don't really want to say it. You guys already know what it is because I put it up here, but I don't want to say it. I want it to come from the spirit box. As a 4-year-old boy, he may not understand what I'm talking about. I don't know whether the spirit ages when you become a spirit, if you age or if you stay a boy. Because I know some of the ones I talked to, like the one Michael down in New Orleans last year, sounded like a boy, sounded like a little boy. He answered like a little boy. So I'm kind of thinking you stay a little boy, and he may not understand. If I ask him, we heard tied in there, but if I ask him, what were you tied up with or to, he may not know the answer to that. Do you know the answer to where you were tied up to and how? I heard parents and I heard something. Um, so your mother's name was Alice. Um, she would be right now 99 years old. Wayne, do you know if your mother is still alive? I heard no in the beginning, and then I heard what sounded to be with me. And from what I gathered in the news reports, is she was very remorseful what happened. Well, they both were. They did not expect death to have occurred. But my goodness, when you treated a 4-year-old that way, what the hell did you expect? Well, let me try it this way. Alice Cliff. Cliffe. Alice Cliff. I have no idea if that was her name when she passed away. Are you with us here today?
Mary Ellen.
Of course, we heard Mary Ellen in there. And I also heard here, boss. Of course, we're in the South, and that's a very typical term sometimes in the South here, boss, but generally not by women. Mary Ellen, you were in there. Did you have something you would like to say to us? All right, so we'll try again. Alice Cliff. Is a spirit of Alice Cliff in this cemetery with the spirit of her son, Wayne Dolham. So I heard the same spirit. We'll listen to see if that's exactly what it was, the same spirit. Not quite sure what that meant. Alice, are you here with us today? Because there's no record of her being here in this cemetery. And, you know, if Mary Ellen can travel around from places I go north, south, east, west, it doesn't matter where I go, and she's in there, it would seem logical that Alice could be here. We know Mike, my little guardian spirit, we know he travels about, although I haven't heard him for a while. We know he travels about. So, Mary Ellen, are you here today because of Alice and Wayne? Okay, don't know what I heard, but Wayne, if you're still here, we'll try again. Are you here with your mother?
I'm stuck.
Heard I'm stuck. I heard evil. So Mary Ellen, if you're still here, I did hear a couple people. I did hear terrify a couple of times. I just now heard I'm stuck. I'm hurting. Assume that was Wayne. Mary Ellen, can you help any spirits that are in this cemetery who need your help? Alrighty. So we're getting a little bit long here. Wayne, is there anything else that you would like to say today about what happened to you back in 1952 at the hands of your mother and your stepfather? Not really. I heard killed two. So Wayne, are you saying that they killed other people as well? Interesting. Something about grave. So let me ask you this, Wayne. Am I anywhere near your grave? It's not marked. There's no headstone from what I can see. Am I anywhere near you?
So the stress that you know maybe. So
All right, so I tried to find a place that I felt like I was close to you. Um, the area where it shows a lot of 1952 burials, and there is a 1952 burial here as well behind me, but it's way on the other side of the cemetery that had most of the 1952 burials. And I, the funeral was attended by about 3,500 people, including an organization today. 99.9999% of us would not want at our funeral. So I thought there might have been an elaborate headstone. Um, they were just trying to be boisterous and make a showing for themselves, get themselves in the news. That's just the way that I took it. So I don't think. I hope I'm near your grave, Wayne. All right, and some about remember me. Yes, people do remember you. And that's why I'm trying to do this, trying to find out where you're buried so we can get you listed here. And so that everybody will remember you. All righty. Well, with that, I think we'll call it a day for trying to talk to Wayne. We're trying to talk to a child. What do you think? Was Wayne in there talking? I won't really know until I go back and listen to the audio to see what kind of responses amongst the junk that was in there that I did get out. Because what we were trying to do is find out whether or not he could tell us. He did say tied at one spot, and he was tied. What we do know is he was hung from the rafters. And one article I read said in a straitjacket fashion. Another one just said he was hung from his wrists. So I don't know. There's no pictures of that. There's no drawings of that. There's no other explanation, no other description of it. What we do know is when he did pass away and he was buried here, that his mother did want to attend the funeral. She was already pregnant. She was already pregnant with another child. Um, and that so did the stepfather, but the courts turned the stepfather down. The mother was unable to attend because of her physical being, probably because she was pregnant. Wherever she was in state prison at didn't want to take the chance of transporting her pregnant. Different different day back in the 1950s when women were pregnant. The medical was quite a bit archaic compared to now, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't alive then myself. So she didn't come. They wouldn't allow her come. And then the stepfather said he wanted to come. And the prison said absolutely not. So with that, I will say goodbye to little Wayne Dolham. I hope, Wayne, that you are here and that you are resting in peace. And if you wanted your mother's spirit with you, I hope she is here with you.
Thank you. It's a great thing.
Thank you. It's a great thing. Hopefully that was Wayne. And again, as I said, what do you think? Let me know in the bottom. Do you think I was really talking to Wayne? So with that, as I always say, I want to thank you for joining me here on my journey. It's my journey to find out what in the world's going to happen to me as my days grow closer to when I am no longer above the dirt. And I am here in a cemetery just like everybody else. Because as I always say, there's more days behind me than there are in front of me. And I appreciate you joining me on my journey. If you like what I'm doing, please consider giving it a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Cost you nothing. I won't spam you. If you want to watch the videos, you can watch the videos, but I'd really like to get some more subscribers. So with that, I'll see all of you on the next one.